Good evening and welcome to the City of Boynton Beach City Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, and the time is 6 p.m. We will now turn to the Deputy City Clerk for roll call.
Mayor Shelton.
Present.
Vice Mayor Hay.
Present.
Commissioner Cruz.
Present.
Commissioner Kelly.
Here.
Commissioner Turkin.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Tammy. Pastor Bender will lead our invocation, and Commissioner Cruz will lead our Pledge of Allegiance tonight. Let's all stand for the invocation and pledge, please.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the breath in our bodies right now. They're a gift. And we pray that you would help us to use every breath to advance this beautiful city that we live in, and that you would give wisdom and discernment, that there would be peace that would rest on this room and on all of the leaders here, and that you would give them great wisdom and discernment to lead this community, to make tough decisions, and to know the right way to be able to set up for the future. We pray your blessing on our community of Boynton Beach, that your favor would rest on it, that there would be peace, prosperity, and strength. Where there is healing, Lord, that you would bring that to the families that need it. Where there is hope that is lacking, that you would fill every heart with hope, because you are our hope, Lord. And so I pray in the name of Jesus a blessing on Boynton Beach. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. We are now moving on to the agenda approval, additions and deletions, corrections. Let's begin to my left with Commissioner Turkin. If you have any additions, deletions, corrections to the agenda.
Yes, Mayor. I would like to add a conversation about some recent events that happened in my neighborhood that I think maybe a little bit more elongated from or just a formal statement concerning the police department, the budgeting, the organization, and prompting a question to the city manager. So I'd like to have a brief but concise conversation regarding that after a public audience. There's some consensus there. Yes, so after, after public audience.
Everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Added it in under public audience. Commissioner Kelly?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Vice Mayor Hay?
Yes, I would like to add probably item 2B, which will be the reading of a proclamation for Women History Month.
Want to add it right under 2A?
2B.
Commissioner Cruz?
None for me, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the agenda as amended. We have a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes unanimously. We will now move on to informational items by members of the City Commission. So let's begin with, to the right, with Commissioner Cruz.
No disclosures or comments for me, thank you.
Yes, I would like to report that I attended the mayor's breakfast in West Palm Beach at the Hilton, and I had to be on a panel representing the city in the mayor's spot, and it all went well. I also attended the Fireman's Award ceremony that was held, and it was great to see many of the young men get their promotion. And also at the end of the last month, February, attended the community monthly meeting that was held at Carolyn Sims Center. Thank you, Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly?
No, none for me, thank you.
Commissioner Turkin?
Nothing for me, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, and this is where you want to do your proclamation?
Yes.
Okay.
First, I'd like to give a little background on Women History Month. As we gather during the month of March, we recognize Women History Month, a time set aside to honor the extraordinary contributions of women throughout our nation and right here in Boynton Beach. From the women who serve in leadership roles in our city government, to the entrepreneurs strengthening our local economy, to the educators shaping our young minds, and the mothers and grandmothers anchoring our families, women are the backbone of our community. In Boynton Beach, we see women leading in public safety, community redevelopment, small business ownership, nonprofit service, faith communities, and neighborhood advocacy. These visions, their reliance, their compassion to move our city forward. Tonight, we celebrate for the next generation of young girls growing up in our city of Boynton Beach. With that, I would like to read a proclamation. Women History Month Proclamation. Whereas March is nationally recognized as Women History Month, a time to honor and celebrate the vital contributions women have made to the history, culture, and progress of the United States. And whereas women have played an essential role in shaping communities through leadership in government, business, education, healthcare, public safety, faith institution, nonprofit organization, and family life. And whereas the city of Boynton is strengthened daily by the dedication and service of women who serve as elected officials through the personalities of Rebecca Shelton as mayor, Angela Cruz as commissioner of District 1, Amy Kelly as commissioner of District 4. Women also serve as employees, entrepreneurs, community advocates, educators, caregivers, and volunteers. And whereas women in Boynton Beach continue to lead efforts in economic development, neighborhood revitalization, affordable housing initiative, young mentorship, public health, and civic engagement. And whereas recognizing Women History Month provides an opportunity to inspire future generation of young women and girls to pursue leadership, education, entrepreneurship, and public service. Now, therefore, we, the mayor, the city commission of the city of Boynton Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim the month of March as Women History Month. In the city of Boynton Beach, we encourage all residents to celebrate and honor the achievement, resilience, and leadership of women who continue to shape our community and our nation. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hand and caused the seal of the city of Boynton Beach to be affixed this third day of March 2026. Let's give our women a hand. And even more than that, I would like our women, along with our commissioners, to come downstairs for picture taking, and our men as well. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Hey.
That's great.
Just ignore my shoes.
Sheila, can you get a picture? Get a picture of this. Stay down.
Can you hear me yelling? Can everyone hear me? Thank you. You're welcome. So it's been an honor to serve with these two women up here the last year and to be sworn in during Women's History Month. So we are almost at that year, and I want to thank the Vice Mayor for honoring us like this and acknowledging women. You know, in the past, we've had a hard road ahead, but as working with these two leaders and myself, I hope that we can definitely encourage other women to run for office here, and you never know. This commission might be all women once we're through.
I was not expecting a.
Oh, you got us all emotional now, Vice Mayor. Okay. Next on the agenda is the announcement for March 10th, 2026 election. Can staff please come to the podium? Okay.
Commissioners, staff, March 10th will be the city election. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The candidates ran unopposed, but we will have a citywide election on 3 referendum questions. For more information, please visit the city's website at boynton-beach.org. Voters residing within the city limits are eligible to participate. Residents may verify registration status, polling location, and municipal eligibility by checking their voter information online at votepalmbeach.gov or by contacting the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections Office at 561-656-6200. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now moving on to the public audience portion of the agenda. Any citizen may be heard concerning any matter within the scope of the jurisdiction of the commission. Speakers will be limited to a 3-minute presentation. If people would like to come on down now, and we ask that you line up at both podiums so that we can keep it moving. So if you do want to speak, please come on down and get on either the right or the left podium. Thank you so much. And former Mayor Taylor, it's wonderful to see you at the podium.
Thank you. Good evening. Jerry Taylor, 2382 Congress Boulevard, Boynton Beach. I especially wanted to come tonight because I know this is the final commission meeting for Woodrow Hay, our Vice Mayor Woodrow Hay. So I wanted to be here, Woodrow, because I can't help but think about the years that you and I spent together as serving this city. Yes. And I want to especially say that I want people to know that for every time you were there, you looked out for your constituents in District 2. You did the best that you could for them. You always had them in your heart. But more important than that, all the decisions you made were based on what was good for all the citizens of Boynton Beach, not just District 2, but the entire city. You always put that first in your mind. And I will say that the other thing I liked about you at my meetings, you made sure you always brought to the decisions common sense. I could always rely on you to put common sense into what we were doing. So I want you to know that I respect you for your service to the city. I want to thank you for your service to the city. I want to wish you the best in your years ahead. May God go with you. God bless.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, please. Please state your name.
Trey Heldorfer. And for the sake of time, there will be some, sorry?
To go to the other mic.
It's easy.
Yeah, is it on?
Better?
There you go.
Oh, okay. For the sake of time, there will be some nuance lost, but I've been a resident of Boynton for 3 years now. I've lived on Southwest 2nd Avenue. And during that time, I've invested significantly in my home, and I put real money and effort into improving my property because I believed in this neighborhood and wanted to build something long-term here. Recently, I became a father, and that's kind of changed how I've looked at some things. And over the past several months, there have been multiple robberies on my street, including one last night where my neighbors and I were victims again. There have also been shootings and other serious crimes in close proximity to our homes. And now, as a father, I find myself asking, is this a place where I can raise my son? When I have people in hoodies and ski masks robbing me in my front yard, drive-by shootings nearby, and individuals living in tents behind people's houses in my neighborhood, it really becomes difficult to feel secure and to want to continue to invest in my property when the surrounding conditions appear to be deteriorating. I would like to understand the long-term vision for Boynton Beach, specifically Forest Park neighborhood. What is their strategic plan to improve safety and quality of life in the neighborhood? What measurable metrics are we using to track crime reduction, code enforcement effectiveness, and neighborhood stabilization? And how are we evaluating whether the current solutions are even working? Right now, residents are experiencing something that does not feel aligned with progress. I also want to address that many of my fellow neighbors discuss regularly about enforcement priorities. We see code enforcement driving through the neighborhood regularly, issuing warnings for things such as your bushes are over 4 feet tall, you have a package on your front porch. I got a warning for having a baby stroller on my front porch. At the same time, we see overcrowded homes, properties in severe disrepair, people living in tents, and repeated violent crime. So for me and my fellow neighbors, this feels inconsistent and misaligned when there's violent crime and serious neighborhood deterioration conditions. I understand that crime exists everywhere and no city is perfect, but what concerns me is the frequency and concentration of these issues in this area and the perception that the response is not proportional to the severity. I'm not really here to complain. I am here because I want to believe in this neighborhood. I want to stay. We live 1 mile from the beach. It should be a joy to live here. But I need to see credible and measurable commitment to improving safety and restoring order. And so again, I just want to ask, is there a concrete plan for Forest Park? What are some measurable goals and timelines? And how will residents be able to track progress? Because without that clarity, many families like mine will start to ask really whether we should even stay here or simply leave for a city where we feel safe. Thanks.
Thank you. Angel, can you get his contact information for me, please? Thank you. Next, please.
Cindy Falco Di Corrado, I concur with what he's saying. I've been listening to like 12 police cars, 15, just running up and down my street and lights everywhere. And every day, not just even at night, in the day, it's just non-stop. And I just live down the street here from the city hall. I should feel even more protected. I don't know why I should, but because I used to have the police station here, but this area is becoming really very scary. And now I want to talk about another subject. Again, my name is Cindy Falco Di Corrado. I'm here to discuss the East Side entry. It's more than just a development site. It sets the tone for who we are as a city. Right now, there's very little what says, welcome to the city of Boynton Beach. This is our opportunity to create something distinctive and lasting. Boynton Beach is not just another suburb. And I believe that your hearts are to make this really a charming, welcoming, beautiful little area. It's going to take work to get there with what's going on, but I believe this is our chance to say, as soon as you come off of I-95, because that's where I live, and it is pretty scary coming off I-95. It's not attractive at all. And if we're the gateway to the closest to the ocean, we definitely need to start saying some things. But I don't want us to look like glass and mortar. I want us to keep it old world, vintage, a fishing village. And I did send Chris Brown some pictures of what possibly could be. But we also need stores here. We need things for the elderly to do. We need things for the young people to do. There is nothing on this side of I-95. I also wanted to talk about last night, I heard about this wonderful array of celestial lineup that's supposed to happen on this blue moon. I go out front of my house at 6 o'clock this morning waiting for it to happen, and all I see is this big building with all its lights on, that every time I sit in my front yard, I'm faced with that new construction that blocks my skyline. Now, I don't know who pays for the electricity, but the electricity is on day and night. No matter what time I go outside, no matter what time at night, the lights, it's all lit up. I don't know what you're going to do about that, because people who live in the community really don't want to see their lights in this monstrosity that takes over my beautiful view, which I'm really saddened about, because I love to sit in my yard. I worked hard to make my yard an oasis and a place for safety and to feel, my sanctuary. And now I lost the beautiful skyline. I can't see the sun rise because this 8-foot whatever tall building square with lights on is sitting there. Anyway, I bring those things to your attention. I do want to thank you, though, for putting these on the doors. It helped remind me to send Chris Brown some pictures and to give him some ideas. And I hope that everybody, if you did receive one of these, that you will put your 2 cents in. This is our city, and let's make it beautiful, and let's keep it down home. We don't want to look like Palm Beach County. We don't want to look like Dade County. We don't want to look like Broward County. We definitely don't want to look like Las Olas. So please, let's remember that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Name is Michael Corcoran. I've been living in Boynton Beach since 1980. And I'm a senior citizen. I have recently become an e-bike rider. And because of this, I only ride, because of my age, I only ride on the sidewalks because the roads are too dangerous as far as I'm concerned. I see your new ordinance. I don't know if it's passed, going to pass, or whatever. I just wish you would consider both alternatives. If you look at the situation, you say, what if there were children that were allowed to ride on the sidewalks, or adults or whatever, that were allowed to ride on the sidewalks, maybe with speed limits or something like that, 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour? What would be the consequences of a bad incident? And it would be maybe an older person, another senior person that was walking, and they got hit by a child that was on a scooter or a bike or something like that. The bad consequences would be they'd get a bruise. They'd maybe get a high five, not a high five, but a single finger high five from an incident. And the consequences would not be dire. If now you take these same children, you say you cannot ride on the sidewalk, you must ride on the road, and the consequences are totally different. There are machines that are weighing 2 tons that, and I know for a fact that I've been with people that have ride with trucks or cars that don't like bicyclists, and they will cut you off. Trucks with their big mirrors will try to get close as possible and try to knock your head off or whatever. And this is an incident that the consequences of this are not just, I got a bruise, I got a boo-boo on my knee or something like that, or somebody gave me the finger. It's a consequence of death or real injury. So I wish you would consider changing this, doing something different than just saying, you can't ride on the sidewalks, you can't do this. I have a scooter and I have an e-bike. My scooter is a little small thing. I look like Humpty Dumpty on this, but it saves gas, and that's the reason why I have these, because gas is expensive. I'm living on Social Security only, and I want to be able to save money to be able to do things, so I try to not use gasoline, and I'm using these e-bikes, but now I'll have to get rid of them if I can't ride on the sidewalk, because I'm not going to ride on the road. I refuse to do it. I don't even ride at intersections. When I come to an intersection, I go down the road about maybe a half a block. I try to look to go across the road, get on the other side, and then ride on the sidewalk to continue my ride, because I refuse to ride. It's too dangerous to ride on these roads. That's all you can do is ride on the roads. So please reconsider this ordinance that you're trying to pass. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
David Katz. I'm going to read from an article posted on CBS 12 by Skylar Shepard on February 27th of this year. I know it's true and accurate because it's not from the Palm Beach Post. I reclaim my time. Thank you. The city of Boynton Beach announced on Friday, February 27th, that it won a significant legal victory in federal court in the lawsuit brought by former Human Resources Director Tennille DeCoste. On January 29th, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida granted summary judgment in favor of the city, dismissing all remaining claims that alleged race discrimination and retaliation under Title VII and Florida Civil Rights Act. In its order, the court determined that DeCoste failed to produce sufficient evidence to support her claims, concluding instead that her termination stemmed from a rigorous independent investigation conducted by outside counsel. That investigation substantiated 6 violations of city policy, including misuse of city resources for her personal political campaign, improper communications with labor representatives while serving as the city's chief labor negotiator, interference with the investigation itself. The investigator ultimately found that DeCoste had exceedingly failed to meet expectations for her role. The court further noted that the timing of the investigation and her dismissal reflected a logical connection between her misconduct and the timing of the investigation and her termination, rejecting her claims of discriminatory or retaliatory motive. This ruling follows a lengthy period of scrutiny inside Boynton Beach City Hall. In August of 2025, The Palm Beach County Office of Inspector General concluded 2 major investigations into internal misconduct allegations involving DeCoste and senior city officials. And the OIG found no policy violations by senior staff, including the city manager, deputy city manager, city attorney, and the internal accountability director. After reviewing allegations ranging from retaliation and racial bias in hiring to nepotism and alcohol use during work hours, none were supported by sufficient evidence. One allegation against DeCoste was sustained. Investigators found she solicited a campaign donation from a coworker during work hours and had improperly taken leave for a campaign event. I'm not going to have time to finish. This young lady was creating chaos, the chaos created by a former mayor and members of the commission, past and present. And I hope the city seeks its attorney's fees. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, please, sir. Please state your name.
Good evening, Robert Breen. I'm actually Trey's neighbor.
Okay.
We had an issue last night. There was people checking doors. I had the privilege to speak to Mr. Boniface today. He enlightened me on kind of what you guys' plans are. My biggest concern is there's a lot of new construction going on. How are you going to welcome a bunch of new people into this community if you cannot fight the crime that's happening right now? That's the biggest issue. We've lived here 8 years. I live maybe 10 houses down from Tom. And in the past 6 years, we never had an issue. We could leave our doors unlocked, our cars unlocked, never had an issue. In the past year, I think I've had my truck tried to be broken into 4 times. My boat was broken into on the spillway with everybody else's. Last night we had an issue. I chased them for 3 blocks. What are you guys gonna do to protect the citizens of Boynton Beach? Forget everybody else that you're building for and the money you're spending with this CRA to develop Boynton Beach. What are you gonna do for everybody sitting in here that has been here for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years? You're losing it. You're losing the battle with crime. And I've spoke to the watch commander, I spoke to the sergeant today. I have the utmost respect for the police department. I know they do everything in their power. So it doesn't fall on them. It's what is this town council going to do to give this city and the police department the resources they need to protect the current residents, not the future residents, but what's now. And how do you guys plan to protect the new future residents? Because construction's going up everywhere. And it's welcoming people in, but your school systems are going down and the crime, I mean, Mr. Boniface told me that the crime is up 100% just in Forest Park or whatever our neighborhood is. It's brutal. My fiance doesn't feel comfortable being home. Nobody feels safe. Getting woken up by your cameras at 1 o'clock in the morning, talking to the cops. I mean, I think I've had the PD out 3 times in the past 6 months. And we have video footage. And the people that are checking our cars, they're not afraid. They're walking through our yards with not a care in the world because they're not afraid of us and they're not afraid of the police department. So I would love, like Trey said, to know what the plans are and how you're gonna say if the plans you have in store don't work, what is your B, C, and D? Because I mean, I'm ready to move. It's unsafe. And we shouldn't have to feel this way, especially with what we paid. And I mean, you live right down the street from me. It's uneasy. You don't trust anybody walking down the street, whether it's night or day now. So I truly hope you guys take some serious consideration and give the police department every resource they need to bring Boynton Beach back to what it used to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Angel, will you get that contact information again?
Hello, my name is Charles Hunt, military retiree. On last week, I produced some information from the Constitution and civil rights for homeowners. I hope that you all took those under consideration because Boynton Beach is telling us we can't park on our lot, in our yard. And it's illegal for them to tell us that. because the Constitution have given us the rights. I'm not condemning anyone at this particular time, but I am saying that we must abide by the Constitution and civil rights for homeowners. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Good evening. My name is Liz White.
And I'm Kim Roger from Los Mangos. We're the Save Los Mangos Board Sanction Committee speaking on behalf of our 188 homes, which we are very proud to say will celebrate its 50th birthday next year. First, we wholeheartedly support the upcoming ballot question to add new language to the city charter, which reads, establishing the foundational purposes and principle of the city's government, including protecting the general health, welfare, and safety of residents, and promoting honest, efficient, and responsive government. This is exactly what Los Mangos has been asking for from our city leaders in government for the past several years. It's disappointing to think that it is required and has not been a standard all along. The lack of meaningful relationship balance between City Hall and Los Mangos was on full display and reached its tipping point on February 4th at the Dune groundbreaking CRA broadcasted event, which took place 30 feet off our property line. This 16-minute video would beg questions and raise concerns for even the casual viewer with no prior knowledge of this matter. Despite our previous failed attempts, we are asking this final time to meet solely with you in an effort to fix this misalignment. Thank you for your time. We'll get in touch with you shortly.
Thank you. Next, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mike McCray. I wasn't going to stand tonight, but I do need to stand. I'm just saying after listening to people from Forest Park talk about crime and everything, and to look out through this city, and I don't see any command staff from the police department. It's a disgrace here for this city. You know, my take is that when you have people in charge, if they can't come to council meeting or commission meeting, they don't need to be in charge. This is where the crust of the road and the rubber of the road meets, and this is where they need to be when citizens are complaining. They do not have to go to an aide and say, will you take their names? Whoever's in charge need to be saying, I will take care of that problem. Thank you. I hope this is the last time.
Thank you. Is there anyone online?
No, Mayor, there is nobody online.
Okay, public audience is now closed. We'll move on to your discussion, Commissioner Turkin.
Thank you, Mayor.
Might lead into.
Yeah, we heard some public comment earlier, very dissatisfying. I want to start out by saying this conversation is never easy to have. We make very difficult decisions here on the dais and have to start those hard conversations. But I think the important thing to know is that it's our responsibility to respond to the concerns of our residents and continually look for thoughtful and innovative ways to improve the services that we provide, especially and primarily when it comes to public safety. My intent here is to be extremely straightforward and request a complete, holistic, administrative review and reevaluation of the police department to determine whether there are opportunities to increase the number of boots on the ground, day-to-day policing subjectively that people see every single day. You know, when I heard about these events, you know, that happened, you know, on my street, you know, to my neighbors, the first thing I did was look at what was the patrolling look like from January to February, because what was communicated was, you know, we've seen the police, but we haven't seen them as much. And so if you look at that data, there was about a 35% decrease of patrolling. And, you know, here we are. I'm not saying that the police department is at any fault for this happening. obviously, I'm going to hold myself responsible because I'm the one that makes the decision of who our city manager is and who he employs and how he delegates and organizes his separate departments. So that one's on me. And, you know, I want to be clear as well that this is in no way, shape, or form to criticize, you know, our everyday officers, our first-line managers, our sergeants, the men and women who brave themselves every single day to be out on the streets, answer the calls, connect with the community. Those are the ones that are making an impact every single day. So this conversation isn't about them. This conversation is more of a macro level, administrative, organizational conversation. As I mentioned, those officers are the backbone of our public safety department. What prompted me for this request, completely unrelated, was looking at the salaries of our division directors that I had asked for last week, completely unrelated to this issue in Forest Park. But after hearing, obviously, this, and then also hearing feedback from Marina Village about them not seeing as much patrol, looking at the Chapel Facebook forum, seeing, you know, they're not seeing as much patrol, you know, it makes you think, all right, if it's one thing, maybe it's a one-off. But when multiple different communities that are completely different and unique in their own way are saying the same thing, maybe it's time to just take a look, right? And so when we look at the salary levels of some of these higher ranking positions that appear to be comparable to department heads who oversee significantly more and in a scope of work managing multiple departments and broader scopes of responsibilities throughout the city, and you factor in the overtime at those levels, it raises an extremely fair question about whether our current structure is maximizing the impact of the resources that we are investing in public safety. So I would argue that this commission, if you looked at financially how much we've invested in the police department, I would bet that we probably have the track record of investing more than any other body. I know the mayor's new, but for those of us who have been here for multiple years, I think year over year over year, we have not shied away, we have not blinked at the ask to support our residents and make sure that they're safe every single day. And so, you know, I think when I looked at other departments and I looked at the command staff compared to officers on the road, from the research I have done, right, again, I could be wrong, but the research I have done, that we are the highest in comparison to some of our neighboring cities such as Delray, Boca Raton, Deerfield Beach, I think was one of the closest as far as officers that we have in the police department. And so, you know, I'm not suggesting a specific solution tonight, but if there are sworn officers that are operating in a capacity that's more administrative, more managerial, more civilian-based or oriented, it may be worth evaluating whether some of those positions could be translated into a stronger uniform presence on the road. Because ultimately, what we don't want to hear is this, especially after having years and years of investment in our police department. And again, for everyone in the department, this is not a critique. You know, I pride myself on trying to make this city safer, and selfishly, my neighborhood. You know, when I hear the gentleman with his newborn and, you know, his wife and feeling like he wants to move after just moving here and investing in the city, you know, it's a reflection that, you know, we're not doing enough. I think we've done a great job, but what else can we do? And so, you know, I think about my pregnant fiance, and I think about what is it going to be like in a year or two? Am I going to be okay with her walking down the street with my newborn? You know what I mean? That's the question. I want everybody who's making, you know, whether you're in the police department or not, $130,000, $150,000, $190,000 a year. Does the output and care and commitment to this city match the compensation that you're receiving? Because I think that we have a situation like this. We hear other neighborhoods thinking the same thing and saying the same thing. There's an issue that needs to be looked at. And so at the end of the day, my goal is very simple. I want to support our officers on the ground that are working hard day and night, spending time away from their families, support our sergeants, and ensure that our public safety resources are structured in a way that provides the greatest possible impact for our residents and the greatest return on investment from their tax dollars. And so what I'd like to do is hopefully get consensus from the body to direct the city manager to look at this holistic approach to identify how can we be more effective, more impactful. You know, I'm not asking to cut any jobs. I don't want that to be the sentiment. What I'm asking for is how do we reevaluate and become more impactful on a day-to-day basis for our residents?
I do agree with that. And the one thing that disappoints me is I did wake up this morning to multiple text messages and videos about what happened. And I live a street over from Commissioner Turkin, and I have been here for 25 years, and it is one of the reasons that I ran, because you're not safe walking down the street. I cannot walk to Woolbright. I cannot walk Seacrest. You cannot walk it on the weekends. There's a window of time that you might be able to walk it during the week if you're lucky when the crossing guards are out, because you know somebody's there. But when a constituent says to us, you know, what are we going to do about it? But since I've been here, we have funded law enforcement with everything that's been asked for. And I would like an answer of why there was a 30% decrease of patrol from January to February. That blows my mind when we are getting the same complaints over and over and over about the same type of crime. And I know I turn it in all weekend long. I turn in citizen complaints all weekend long. People's fences being jumped, people getting into other people's garbage cans. It's an everyday job for me to do that. So I would do anything I could to protect the citizens in all of the city, but I don't know what's happening. I don't have that answer, and I'm very accountable to the residents. So I would like to know, like, and are we patrolling at the right times? Because even if we're out full force, but that's not happening between 9:30 and 6 in the morning when everything happens, it's not going to do any good. It's been the same thing when it comes to code enforcement. If we're wrapping code enforcement up at 5 o'clock, we're not solving it. And again, we have the proof that the crime and the code enforcement are going hand in hand. So we need to join together a little bit on these efforts and see where we're lacking, because it's not getting any better. It gets better for a minute, and then it goes right back to this.
I could agree with what is being said. I too would like to see more patrolling in my area. But by the same token, we must remember that there's how should I put it? Every city is facing similar problems. Just look around the country. Every time you turn around, you see another shooting. And some of the things that we are imposing on our people, rather than making the neighbors cooperative with our city police and the city, we're alienating them, as we can hear with this new parking ordinance. We need to really slow down and work together, the citizens, so that when they see something, they say something. Rather than now, it's almost like a fight between City Hall and the neighborhood. True, we can sit down and come up with some new ideas on how we can better serve our citizen. But remember, we up here voted to increase salaries, to increase the equipment, to add more boots on the road in terms of the CRA district. So we're all a part of this challenge that we face. And I do believe that with the city manager and his staff, when they put their heads together, we'll come back to this commission with some ideas and solution how we can better improve. And I don't feel that we are that out of line with other cities. Every budget that you look at, you will see firemen and the police department chewing up the greatest percentage of the budget. And it is about high time we take a look at that, but let us not be too dogmatic and work together as a city and as a city hall to see what can we do to make our city, Boynton Beach, a better place to live, work, and to play. Thank you.
I will add one more thing, too. The complaint that I got this morning the most was, and I don't know if this is true, I'd like to know, but when there is a call in Forest Park about something, it's taken 20 to 25 minutes for a cop to respond. So that's what I was told this morning from multiple people that have been through this last night. I would like to know if that's true. A long time ago, when we moved the police department, I knew that was going to be an issue on response time. Things have not gotten better. They've gotten worse. Data doesn't lie. So I would like to know, people in Forest Park constantly say, I'm not calling the police because they're not showing up or they're not showing up and quickly enough. So that's something we need to work on. And I know you wanted to say something.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, Commissioner Turkin, I support you on this effort. This is something that, and I am, obviously, we represent the entire city, and I am sorry that your residents are, going through that. We go through it all, as a city, and we all own that burden to make sure that all of our residents are safe. It's a city-wide issue. Obviously, we have things that are different in District 4, but I mean, it's kind of like if you could find an officer, you can tell them. But in District 4, I mean, the data shows a different scenario. And that's something that I've been talking to staff about. And so I would like us to do, I support, if that's a study that we need to do to look at how the organization is. I mean, the police officers are doing the work. They are doing what they can, boots on the ground. But if they don't have what they need, and they don't have the breaks that they need, and then are they going to give us 100% if they're not able to regroup and have rest time either? So, we know that the data shows we have the appropriate number of officers for our population, but are there places where we can improve that so there are more people on the ground and afforded opportunities to take breaks and have rest? Because you can't give 100% we can't expect them to give 100% to the city if we don't afford them an opportunity to break and to spend time with their families either. So I would like to see if that is a study. The police department's done with cities done them before, where we've done studies on if the police department is running as efficiently as it should be. And it's our job, like you said, Commissioner Turkin, it's our job to make sure that the money that we're investing in our public safety is actually being managed correctly and being used to the best of its ability. So I support you on that. I'm sorry your residents are going through that. But police presence on our roadways is an issue for sure, so citywide. So thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, just real quick, I do want to support your comments, Commissioner Turkin. I think it's very important, especially seeing kids growing up in the neighborhood and how important it is, and also knowing that we are the commission that has most likely invested the most heavily in public safety in the history of our city. So it's important for us to see results. And also, I mean, I've had, internal conversations before about questions, but also it's important to, like you said, having more bodies on the road. I definitely support that, and knowing also on a higher scale that we're going through interesting times in government where there's discussions about, potentially reducing property taxes, ad valorem, which is a significant chunk of our budget. As we're facing these challenges, this is a very challenging time to be in government, to be leading in government. But I think that, working together with management, we can find a solution and, something that makes sense. One thing that I've seen in other governmental entities is, as sometimes we've seen people leave their positions on their own, not because they're reduced, but potentially, once that happens, let's say a very, very high level position, let's say you have 3 or 4 of the similar positions that are, directors or things of that nature, how many officers could we hire for a similar budget? So it's something that, the city manager will have to look into and see what we can do. But in the instances where things are happening anyway, can we take that opportunity to maybe translate it into more bodies on the road?
Well, if that statistic was right, that crime has gone up 100% in Forest Park in the last year, that's That's very disturbing. So if someone can tell me if that was really
Yeah,
said or not,
Mayor,
I can't even swallow that.
That's a concern I have too,
I
because
am-
in looking at the data that's provided to me, it seems to be different. And so it's a little bit alarming when we have someone from the city communicating something different than what's being presented. Again, I'm not gonna make a decision or a judgment on that yet. I'll wait till I see actual data, in comparison, but the last time I looked at it, it looked like trends were coming down in respect to violent crime. You know, and I know there's different classifications and, you know, data can be convoluted sometimes as far as how it's classified. But, you know, just to kind of wrap up, I think the big thing here too is just to look at, you know, I asked Alan to put these on your guys' desk so you could really see, you know, and look at, you know, there's a significant amount of command staff, you know, who we appreciate and, you know, I think have dedicated so much time to the city. And so when it comes to overtime, I can speak from my personal experience. When I would put someone on a schedule, you know, and I needed an extra body, do I put somebody that's making $35 an hour, or do I put the individual who's capable at $15 an hour, $17 an hour for that overtime? You know, what I did see in West Palm, I think it was either West Palm or maybe a different department, is that there was higher level command staff utilizing overtime, and that became quite an issue. What I don't want to have happen is that here, again, I haven't looked at that data or those numbers, but, you know, and maybe that's not the case, and good, let's prevent that. But, you know, I just think that there's some opportunity to reevaluate here, and I appreciate everyone, you know, for the unanimous support and, you know, asking the city manager to review this.
Okay,
Yeah, I just want to take 1 minute, Marion.
Sure.
Like offer my sympathy to the gentleman that was up here. That I know whenever you're the victim of a crime, there's a certain amount of emotion and vulnerability that takes place within the moment. I did see the video. I saw him running down the street of the individuals that were attempting to break into his car. I do want to echo the sentiment of the board. You guys made by far the most significant amount of monetary investment into public safety in this city. So I just want to say that that's a failure on my part, and I can assure you it'll be rectified. So, and I'll bring something back after we meet, and I'll meet with the public safety staff, the administration, see if we can bring something back that's going to be impactful and is going to be reflective in the community. So,
thank you. Okay, moving on. Moving on to the advisory board and appointments. We have one senior advisory board appointment that needs to be removed from the table. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The motion is passed unanimously. We have one applicant for the senior advisory board. The nomination goes to Commissioner Cruz. Would you like to make the motion?
Yes, I'll go ahead and nominate William Perkins. My
Great.
understanding is he's currently an alternate in the senior advisory board, and he's seeking regular.
Great. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. We have vacancies that need to be filled in the Art Advisory Board, the Building Board of Adjustments and Appeals, Education and Youth Advisory Board, Historic Resources Preservation Board, Library Advisory Board, and Senior Advisory Board, and we would like to encourage residents to please apply. We'll now be moving on to the consent agenda. If my colleagues want to pull any items from consent, let's begin on my right with Commissioner Cruz. And Vice Mayor Hay?
Nothing.
And Commissioner Kelly? No. And Commissioner Turkin?
Negative. Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. We will now move on to consent bids and purchases. If my colleagues would like to pull any items, let's begin on my left with Commissioner Turkin.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly?
No, thank you.
Vice Mayor Hay?
No, nothing
Commissioner
for me.
Cruz?
None for me. Thanks.
Okay, may we have a motion to approve?
May I for a second? Can we table 7D?
7D.
Motion
to March
table
23rd.
7D.
Second.
We have a motion to table 7D, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Motion to approve the remainder of the consent.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the remainder of the consent, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Commissioner Turkin, did you vote on that one? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we have several public hearing items. Public comment will be permitted. Staff is requesting that items 8D, E, I, and J be tabled until the second reading of the companion rezoning ordinances. If there's nothing else, do we have a motion to table 8D, I,
Motion
8D,
to table.
E, I, and J, sorry.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor for tabling those items, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. I will turn to the clerk to read 8A into the record. Oh, motion passes unanimously. I will turn to the clerk to read. Well, we tabled it. No, 8A is good. We're on.
Proposed ordinance number 26-004, second reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 2, Article 1, Section 2, Types of Land Development Applications, and Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 4.B, Community Design Appeal, to add an administrative approval process providing for codification, conflict severability, and an effective date.
This is the second reading of this ordinance. Staff, have there been any changes?
No, Mayor, no changes to this item.
Any comments or questions from the commission?
No.
Public comment will be permitted at this time, 3 minutes per person, if anyone would like to come down and make public comment. I assume no one is online?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. If there's nothing else, may we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-004 on the second reading?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin? Yes. Commissioner Cruz?
No.
No? Okay.
Commissioner Hay?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
Item 8C is quasi judicial and will be presented together with 8B. They're here. Yeah. Where's B? Down here? Shauna? B is not.
Down there.
Oh, okay. It's not there. I got you. Okay. I got you. See it. All right. I'll turn to the clerk to read items 8B and C into the record. Okay, I see it's up there.
Should I swear them in first?
Mayor, may I interrupt? Can we have 8B, C, D, and E run together on this one?
There, just for clarification, we technically tabled them. They can still present them.
Okay.
We're just not voting on D and E. So that's what's happening.
Okay. Okay.
No, it's okay. Go ahead and, you want to swear them before you read them into the record?
I can read them into the record, whichever works.
You can go ahead and
Okay.
just swear them and then we'll read it. into the
Okay.
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 Anyone who speak on item 8C and B, please stand up and raise your right hand. Do you swear? I'm sorry. Do you swear to affirm the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may be seated. Proposed ordinance number 26-006, first reading, approve the Sarah Sims Memorial Cemetery Future Land Use Map Amendment. Request from MEDR, Medium Density Residential, to Public and Private Government Institutional, consisting of approximate .94 acres located at 201 Northwest 9th Court. Okay, and then proposed ordinance 26007, first reading, approve the Sarah Sims Memorial Cemetery rezoning request from R2, single and two-family residential, to PU, Public Usage District, consisting of approximate .94 acres located at 21 Northwest Court.
Okay. So staff, you can do your presentations on 8B and
Yes.
Just for clarification, if you could read D and E into the record too?
Okay.
Although we're not voting on those.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then we have to do disclosures on 8C.
okay.
Okay. 8D, approve a request for a variance from Part 3, Chapter 4, Article 2, Section 4.B.3.C, 2, Table 4-4, urban landscape buffer to remove the requirement of a 6-foot concrete wall within a required buffer on a property located at 201 Northwest 9th Court, Public Utility Zoning District. And then approve the request for a major site plan modification to Sarah Sims Memorial Cemetery project, allow for proposed cemetery expansion and site improvements on a 2.76 acre parcel located at 201 Northwest 9th Court in the Public Usage Zoning District.
Okay. E. And E. You're going to be reading E.
I did read.
I'm just winging it up here on this one, guys. So, yeah. I thought we tabled them, so, but you're still reading even though it's, I got you. Yeah. Go along on your E.
I just read E. Did I not?
I thought that was D.
Okay, I'm sorry. Approve a request for major site plan modification. I did
Who's
not
on
read
first?
this. To the Saracens Memorial Cemetery project, allow for a proposed cemetery expansion and site improvements on a 2.76 acre parcel located at 201 Northwest 9th Court in the Public Usage Zoning District.
Okay. Now, are we doing all our disclosures? Just for 8C, okay. Let's start with Commissioner Turkin, please. I know how much you love these.
I have no disclosures regarding 8C.
Okay.
For first reading, if we can, I did the research.
I have none.
Okay, thank you.
No site visits, no communications.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Kelly.
Regarding item 8C, I have not had any ex parte communications. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions. I request these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Commissioner Cruz, can you do yours?
Yep. Regarding item 8C, I have not had any ex parte communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit, and I have not received expert opinions other than staff. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Vice Mayor Hay.
And regarding item 8C, I have not had any expert communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinion. I request that these disclosures of written communication be made part of the record.
Regarding item 8C, I have not had any ex parte communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit, and I have not received experts' opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record. Okay. Now you're up.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. I'm Kevin Ramsey, Public Works Director. I'm here this evening to respectfully request for your approval of a major site plan modification for the Sarah Sims Cemetery. A modification that will allow for the much-needed renovation and expansion of one of our community's most historic and sacred spaces. The city of Boynton Beach currently has no available burial plots remaining at Sarah Sims Cemetery and only 14 cremation lots left at Memorial Park and Mausoleum. Our residents deserve the assurance that when the time comes, there will be a dignified and accessible place to bury their loved ones to rest, right here in the community they called home. The proposal expansion directly addresses that need. The modification would add 717 adult. I have a presentation. I'm just going to summary real quick. I have it here. It's going to be the same thing I said this. 116 children's burial plots for a total of 833 new plots at this cemetery. This is an investment in the dignity, history, and future of Boynton Beach. Sarah Sims Cemetery holds deep cultural and historical significance for our community, and expanding its capacity ensures the legacy ensures for generations to come. So with that, I'll go to a real quick view of this cemetery presentation. So, here we go. Is it left? Every time. Okay, now it's on. All right. So Sarah Sims Cemetery. It was, there we go, okay. In 1957, It was originally designed and named after Sarah Sims in 1908, and the first burial in living history is 1958. So it's our oldest cemetery in the city of Boynton Beach. Okay. This is the existing site as it is right now, off of MLK, and just west of Seacrest Boulevard. As I said, right now we currently have 822 existing plots, and our expansion would add 833 for a total of 1,655 plots. The scope of work is demo existing fencing and antiquated features, new irrigation, landscaping, and decorative fencing, QR code wayfinding and section markers, regrade the site and expand plot capacity, concrete pedestrian walkways, and new access road and memorial park features. This is what we are planning to do, and our friends at Planning and Zoning will show you better maps on this one, but this is our expansion that we want to do, expanding the road and our plot areas. Okay? And that's pretty short, but that's what we have going on with this, all right? Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, based on I know we don't have a crystal ball, but based on the rate of death, this will probably last us a couple of years maybe. What other site are we looking at, looking down the road here? Because this is going to be short-lived.
Yes, sir. We have thought of that, and we've started looking at some locations, and we have a few ideas, and we actually have another PowerPoint to present to the commission. I think it's on one of our discussion items. Barton Park is probably our biggest area that we could actually expand quickly. It'll take further investigations to do other lots. I mean, we have another spot on Sarah Sims, Phase 2, that will give us another 150 plots, will bring us up to a full 1,000, but we're limited. Other than tearing down off of Memorial, tearing down the building and taking away the sandlot, we've got another 200 spots there, but you're right, we are very condensed for spaces for plots, right?
I can just mention, I was at the community meeting, I mentioned it, that we are looking at Barton's Cemetery, or Barton Park, which is adjacent to the historic cemetery there at Barton. So we are going to look at that and bring that back to you in the future to see if that's somewhere you would like to expand plots there.
Do you have a feel for how many that would be ballparkish at Barton?
Barton is roughly 800 more.
About 800?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
2 years.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from the commission before we go to public comment? Okay, go ahead.
Did you want staff to do a presentation? Okay. So good evening, Gabe Savigny, Principal Planner. This is for the Sarah Sims Memorial Cemetery. So what you did see was for the expansion, but the items in front of you tonight are to what could allow for it if approved. So we do have a future land use map amendment, the rezoning variance, and the major site plan modification. So we are at the southwest corner of MLK and Seacrest. The current is medium-density residential for the future land use map. The proposal is public and private government institutional, while the rezoning is currently R2, which is single and two-family residential, and the proposed is for the public usage district. You'll see the discrepancy on the acreage. It's due to I'll show you the maps in a second, but for the flume and the rezone is only 0.94 acres, while the overall site consists of 2.76. So on the upper left-hand corner, that's the existing flume. So the area in yellow is what is being changed right now. That's where the expansion goes into. Lower right-hand corner shows what the proposed changes will be. Again, for the rezoning map, the same thing. Upper left-hand corner is current, and on the lower right-hand is what is proposed. The variance request, in the upper left-hand corner is the area in red is the only area that it's applicable. Current regulations require a buffer wall, 6 foot, to be in the buffer that goes in between the incompatible uses, being R2 existing and future public usage. The proposal on the lower right-hand corner still has the same landscaping that would be required in that said buffer, but the continuation of the 4-foot wrought iron fence is being proposed. Again, they went through the major site plan modification for the additional plots that would be available. And there's some other processions and things like that, site improvements that are being included. Staff does recommend the approval for the future land use map modification as well as the rezoning. And again, as I have already discussed, tabling the variance in the major site plan until second hearing.
Okay.
And that's it for staff.
Any questions from the commission before public comment option?
Nope, I just want to highlight the great work that you guys are doing over there in planning and zoning. You guys are super busy and extremely detailed with it, with every presentation that comes forward in front of us. I just appreciate all your guys' hard work.
Thank you, Chair.
Public comment is permitted at this time, if anyone would like to come down. Please.
Are you all still on the cemetery?
Yes.
Yes.
I
I
just-
had to ask myself that a
Thank you.
couple times too, sir. We're on B and C.
Okay, I need somebody to give clarification to those of us who are sitting there, although you have 826 present. I know we don't have 826 people buried out there. Are we looking for 826 people to fill those? I know they will come, but when you tell us we got 17, I mean, they will be brought, okay? I know we have like 1,700, but I want to know, is that's what the total going to be for overall out there? Because Vice Mayor Hayes said it's down the road a few, but this is only going to be for the citizens of Boynton, and I don't think we're going to let somebody, a big major, people start dying, left and right. It'll be a while before you, about 5 or 6 years or 7 years before you utilize all that space. So, you're kind of on the right road. I'm just saying, but we do need to continue to look before we're too late. But I'm just saying, we got that many, vacant. We're in pretty good shape now. Thank you.
Okay, and then there's no, okay. If there's no other public comment, if there is nothing else, do we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance
So
number
moved.
26-006? We have a motion, we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hack?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call, the motion passes unanimously.
Okay. And we have table. Oh, we were on B, the word C, okay. Okay, now we're moving on to C. Was that the same presentation?
Yeah, it's the same presentation. We just
okay.
have to vote on it. and
Okay,
roll
so
call.
do we have
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and we have a second. We turn to.
Second. Yeah.
I know.
8C, it's the
same, but
continuation
C.
of.
Yeah, the same number.
Saracens.
Then we'll turn to you for roll call. I know.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hack?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
Okay, now we're on to D, which was tabled.
E is tabled, E is
And E is
tabled.
tabled, and we're moving on to F.
Yes.
At this time, I'll turn to the clerk to read items 8F, G, and H into the record.
And if you could read I and J too,
Okay, yeah. just
for
go
the record. Thank you.
Even though those are tabled.
8F, proposed ordinance number 26-001, first reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, voluntarily annexing approximately .91 acres of unincorporated territory into the corporate limits of the city pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, providing for the annexation of the property described herein, providing publication of notice of the proposed annexation, directing the city clerk to record this ordinance with the clerk of the circuit court, with the chief administrative office of Palm Beach County, and with the Department of the State, providing a business impact estimate, providing for codification, conflicts, variability, and an effective date. 8G, proposed ordinance number 26008, first reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 89-38 by amending the future land use map of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, for approximately .91 acre parcel of real property generally located at 3045 North Federal Highway by changing the future land use classification from Palm Beach County future land use designation of commercial high with a underlying MR5 to special high density residential, declaring a proposed amendment to the future land use map to be consistent with all other elements of the comprehensive plan of the city, providing for severability, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. 8H, proposed ordinance number 26009, first reading an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 02-013 to rezone approximate .91 acre parcel of real property located at 3045 North Federal Highway from Palm Beach County's General Commercial District to City of Boynton Beach's infill planned unit development, declaring the proposed amendment to be consistent with the comprehensive plan of the city, providing for severability, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. 8I, approve the request for new master plan for the hammocks at Boynton Beach project to allow for the construction of 2 duplexes and 1 sixplex, outdoor kitchen, pool, cabana, and other site improvements on a .91 acre parcel located at 3045 North Federal Highway in the infill plan unit development zoning district. Applicant Thomas D. Lindani. And 8J, approve a request for major site plan for the hammocks at the Boynton Beach project to allow for the construction of two duplexes and 1 sixplex, outdoor kitchen, pool, cabana, and other site improvements on a .91 acre parcel located at 3045 North Federal Highway in the infill planned unit development zoning district. Applicant Thomas D. DeLandi.
Okay. Okay. Those are all in.
We need to do disclosures on 8H, please.
Okay. Let's start with Commissioner Cruz on your disclosure for 8H.
Regarding item 8H, I have not had any ex parte communication. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation or made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions other than staff. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be part of the record.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Hay?
8H.
8H, yeah.
Regarding item 8H, I have not had any ex parte communication received. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site plan. I have not received expert opinion. I request that these disclosures be written communication for the record.
Thank you. Commissioner Turkin?
I have no disclosures related to this item, and because there's meeting minutes, this will be part of the record.
Kelly?
Regarding item 8H, I have not had any ex parte communications. I have not received written communication. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert opinions. I request these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Regarding item 8H, I have not had any ex parte communication, have not received written communication, have not conducted an investigation, have not made a site visit, have not received expert opinions, and I request that these disclosures and all written communications be part of the record. I will now turn to the clerk to swear in anyone here to speak on 8H. Unless you
Anyone who's here to speak on item 8H, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear to affirm that the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may have a seat.
This is the first reading of these ordinances. Staff, you may begin your presentation on items 8F, G, and H. And then,
Mayor, with your permission, can the applicant go first?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. My name's Jeff Costello, JC Planning Solutions in Delray Beach, representing the applicant. I have a brief presentation. Hopefully I get through this well. Okay, so familiar with the property at 3045 North Federal Highway. Here we go. And so this is approximately 950 feet north of Gulfstream Boulevard on the east side of Federal. As you could see at the location map, the location, it's just under an acre. And the site currently has 14 multifamily units on it, and the proposal is for a 10-unit townhouse development. There we go. This is, I know we're not taking action on this right now, but this is the site plan, the 2 duplexes front Federal Highway, consistent with the regulations that we've applied for, and the 6-unit building to the rear, along with the amenity. There's access off of Federal, and then we've, of course, met the setbacks for the buffer to the single family to the east. Moving right along, These are just some renderings that you'll probably review in more detail next meeting. And so with regard to the annexation request, the voluntary annexation is consistent and complies with the Florida statutes as well as the comprehensive plan. It's contiguous to city property, to property within the jurisdiction of Boynton Beach, and thus is within your future annexation area. The existing land use designation is county commercial high with 5 units to the acre underlying, and then the proposal is a special high density residential along the federal highway corridor. And then the zoning itself is currently general commercial proposed infill plan unit development. And so with that, the future land use map amendment and the rezoning comply with the criteria listed in your LDRs in Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 2B and 2D3. I'm not going to go through all of them. The staff has a great detailed staff report, and I really have to thank staff for their hard work on this, and as well as all the staff involved in it. And so with that, we are just requesting approval of the ordinances that are before you this evening. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the commission for Mr. Costello?
Are these fee simple for sale products? Yes.
That's proposed, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Staff?
Mayor, staff has prepared a presentation, but it largely covers what the applicant, I can proceed or just
Is it
answer
any
questions.
different than what was on the agenda review?
I just, I do have questions for staff that I think are important. So I had a question from the review. I just want to make it public record. This is something that Commissioner Cruz had brought up with the Josie's rezoning for the potential that it could become a live local project. So if Amanda could just kind of go over everything that we had discussed last week about making sure this isn't a potential assemblage and that we don't rezone and it becomes something that it's not, because that's my worry. So I just want to make sure for the public, that we hash out those details.
Absolutely. Amanda Radigan, Development Director for the city. This is being rezoned to IPUD, which is a residential zoning district, which disqualifies it from being used as a live local site. So this action would not allow live local on here.
And the owners are different.
And the owners are different, right? There was a little bit of confusion at the beginning. These are different owners, completely separate from the Josie's property that we approved a couple of meetings ago. There's actually one parcel in between the proposed Josie's site and this site. The parcel to the north is actually IPUD, also residential, not permitted to use live local under current rules, and is consistent with the proposal on this site.
That was it. Thank you.
Good.
Motion to approve.
Hold on, let's do public comment. See, I'm
Second
getting.
reading? Is public comment on?
On both, because we don't have a planning and zoning board. We could change the code to fix that, but. Because
Right when I get it.
You only need one public
Right when I-
comment, but
Okay,
that's a
good.
whole different thing.
Okay.
She did make.
If there's nothing else, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
You have
No, no, no,
Oh,
we
roll
we
call.
have
have
to,
public
we have
comment.
to vote on them separately. But is there any public comment?
No one's online, so no.
No, Mayor, nobody is online.
Okay, so motion to approve.
It's already approved in a second.
Say again?
By me.
2601, yeah.
Proposed ordinance 26001.
We already-
Second.
Okay, well, we have a motion to approve it. We have a second. Now we turn to the clerk for roll call, please.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes,
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
great. Do we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-008 on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for a roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay?
Yes.
Mayor Shelton?
Yes,
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
great. May we have a motion to approve proposed ordinance number 26-009 on first reading?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Let's turn to the clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Turkin,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hay,
Yes.
Mayor Shelton.
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
Okay, when we've tabled I and J, are we still
Correct.
getting a presentation, or
No.
we're just moving along?
It was
Okay.
all combined with
All
that.
right, we're good. Keep on moving. We're now moving on to the regular agenda. Item 10A is an update on combining city properties to create senior affordable housing. Vice Mayor, would you like to begin since you requested this update?
No, I'd like to move on to staff to give us the update on where we are, sort of a status report of combining these properties.
I got you.
Perfect. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission. I'm Andrew Mack, Deputy City Manager. Going to give you a brief update on where we're at with combining some of the senior housing properties and show you what we're working on. So one of the properties we're looking at is our current existing senior center. Right now, there's about 2.35 acres of property that surrounds the senior center that the city or the CRA owns, or that's part of the existing roadway network. There's about 4 parcels, which has about an approximate appraised value of about $3.45 million. What the city's looking to propose is a transformative redevelopment project that would include the CRA and city-owned properties along South Federal Highway, which would integrate into a community hub for senior housing, senior affordable housing, a modern senior center, and shared parking facilities. A private developer partner is actively engaged in this project. They are looking at the parcel to do a feasibility study and coming up with some conceptual site plans for us to look at. And we would expect that if they are going to move forward, we would have an unsolicited proposal within 90 to 120 days from when they're done with their work. This is just a very high-level map kind of showing where the properties are locating. The one in yellow is the city property. That's the current location of the existing senior center. To the west, you have a parking lot that the city owns that supports the senior center. On the east side of that, that's the current location of the women's club. And then the magenta color is the street right away, and then the green to the south is the property that the CRA recently acquired, which totals about 2.35 acres. Again, a development program here, we're looking to do senior affordable housing with a new senior center with shared parking structure and historic preservation of the women's club. Some of the good features about this is it's a prime location. Currently, we own the properties, so there's no land acquisition cost for the city. Obviously, we would have to work that out with the developer on what that looks like. We do have favorable zoning here that's C3, and the taxes are currently, because it's nonprofit or the city-owned, they're not paying taxes, so if they were going to do a project, we're not worried about having to pay taxes at the moment. Community impact, and then there's a lot of CRA synergy. So right now, they're currently in progress of doing their feasibility study. They're looking at that property and what they can do, as well as coming up with a conceptual or preliminary site plans. And then again, what we would expect within 90 to 120 days, once they're finished with their feasibility study and site plans, they will probably submit an unsolicited proposal. We have seen some drawings. I didn't bring them tonight. I can meet with you individually to show you those drawings that we have seen. And I'm open to, I just wanted to make sure that we're looking at the phasing, the timeline. So right now, we're looking anywhere from now to 4 months. And then for phase 1, which should be completion of or bringing the proposal to the commission. And then after that, phase 2, we would do the evaluation. Once we get the proposal in phase 1, then we would move on to phase 2, which would be the evaluation of that and then return it back to the commission for direction that you guys would do. And then obviously at that point, if we approve the project, then we go on to phase 3, which would include the construction delivery of the project. Some of the financial framework for this, we're looking to do it as a public-private partnership. We have at our disposal, obviously, municipal funding, if that was what the developer was going to look at, or some blended version of municipal funding with private funding. We do have CRA increment here. It is in the CRA, and then as well as federal and state grants. So recommended next steps, we're looking to continue meeting with the developer to flesh out more information and to make sure that their project is feasible. Once that has been completed and we receive an unsolicited proposal, that would bring back to you guys for moving forward to authorize us to go into negotiations. Then obviously, once the negotiations are complete, then we would bring that back for final approval for any contracts or agreements, which then would put us on to the development phase or construction phase. And with that, I'll leave it open for questions. I know that was quick. I wanted to make it quick, but in a nutshell, I just wanted to say that we do have interest in this property, and I do believe that we'll have a proposal soon.
Excellent. That's exactly what I was looking for, that type of update, and it shows you guys are really putting forth the effort. Unfortunately, the 90 to 120 days, I won't be here, but I'm just praying that my replacement, so to speak, and this commission will keep this going, because it's a tremendous need for senior affordable housing. And we are being very proactive in what I've seen thus far. And there's no reason to doubt that we will see it through to completion, even though we're looking at possibly 3 years down the road. Okay? So thank you very much, Andrew and the staff of Boynton Beach. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just had meetings before this meeting. I do citizen meetings, and they were all senior citizens, and they were all talking about the senior center, and that there really is nothing. They're struggling with the housing crisis and the cost of living, but also not being able to go and do anything to be able to afford to do anything on top of that. So I know it is years out, but I think it's really going to set a tone for some of the people that were talking to me from Sea Meadows. I've heard a lot from Leisureville. So I think once we get some motion on this and we're able to message this into these communities, this is going to be a good thing for them.
And when we do engage with the developer, we'll open up some public meetings to get some input on the project to see what they would like as well.
Great.
I know that there was one request from the city manager to make sure that there's a pool for the seniors on this site. So that was something that we definitely, the developer said he could include.
That wasn't a request, that was a demand.
Yes,
It is.
demand.
It's so good, though.
They like their
Yeah, and it's one of the only
aerobics.
workouts that can be done when you have injuries.
I
so.
look at it from the point of view is what happens as you get older, right? Your mobility decreases, and I see, like, when I go over to YMCA at military.
It's packed. I taught it for years. Thank you again. Does anyone have any final comments for tonight?
No, just thank you again, just, to echo, this is something that we've been talking about for, a long time, needing an updated and upgraded senior center and senior housing. And so I'm glad to see that this is, on the right track forward. And so I'm looking forward to having many more conversations about this. It is much needed citywide. Like you said, you were talking to Sea Meadow residents, and, there is really not, except for our Arts and Cultural Center, which is busy and doing amazing work, there are a lot of people that want things to do. So I'm excited to see this moving forward, and thank you.
Me too.
I will have more to say at our next meeting, but I really want to thank everybody who may not be here on the 23rd. But this is my last complete commission meeting. It's been an absolute pleasure serving when I added up serving here, as well as the P&D board, as well as the Housing Authority, I came up with a number that's over 30 years, Jerry.
Oh.
That, thank you. So I like to feel that I have helped to change some lives, and I won't be going away. I will be here. I'll be sitting out in the audience and giving this commission my input, as I always have.
Well, we got some board vacancies.
We have some advisory board positions.
Watch my lips.
Now Mildred can volunteer on that.
No.
Do we have a motion to adjourn
Motion
for
to
this
adjourn.
evening?
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Thank you,
Motion passed
everyone.
unanimously. No further business
Have a great
discussed. The
night.
meeting is
Thank
adjourned
you.
at 7:35.